Just a couple things. You guys will obviously see the injury report come out here in a little while. Derek's going to be out for the game. We did try to simulate, what a game-like situation would be for him. I think I mentioned that. We already tried it once before. We did try to inject the hand and see if he could function, and we're just not there yet. And as I mentioned for the last few weeks, we didn't want to put him out there in a situation where he couldn't function fully. So I want to commend Derek because these last 4 weeks have been difficult on everybody. But I've watched this guy come in here every day and work his tail off to try to get back on the field. And I know that's all been behind the scenes, and that's not seen by everybody every day, but it's seen by me and our staff and our players. And so I do want to commend him on the effort to try to get back out here on the field. He really did everything humanly possible to do that. Alvin, we're going to try to put through some things in the morning. Right now he's doubtful, but we're going to try to put him through some game-like situations in the morning to see if he can operate and function as well. So we're gonna wait on a decision on that one. And then Kendre didn't get through the concussion protocol. He hasn't completed all the steps, so he'll be out for the game as well. And right now we just haven't made a final decision on Chris Olave yet. So I know those are the ones. Everybody else that we've been talking about, should be ready to go.
How'd you word Olave?
He's questionable. We're going to make a decision on that. We're going to talk about that here later today. But right now he's questionable for the game.
What's kind of the method you use to decide? Because obviously he's back participating in practice fully. It's about more than just being able to get out.
For Chris, yeah, I think it's all encompassing. So like I said, we'll discuss that here later on today and tomorrow. And listen, Chris has been in great spirits since he's been back. He's had some really good practices. He's moving around really well. It's just a matter of whether or not we want to get him out there in a game or not. We'll see how we play that one out.
You were pretty adamant, when those reports came out that Derek's season wasn't over. Kind of when y'all have been going through all this, was there a point in this timeline where it started to feel like that timeline was going to be extended, or maybe he wouldn't be able to come back?
I think we were probably, Derek and myself and everybody, the medical staff as well, was probably a little bit disappointed the first time we kind of put him through that simulation. Probably didn't go quite as good as we thought. I got frustrated with the reports in the beginning because, like I just said before, I witnessed and watched this guy every single day come in here and rehab with a purpose of getting back. At no point in the rehab process was there ever I'm done for the year. And it was literally, let's see how I feel tomorrow. And listen, we were inching and progressing every day. I think it goes without saying. We talked about this last week. He really wanted to try to get back for the last two games. Being the Raiders, obviously, and then this game, it just didn't go as planned. Sometimes that happens. And as I've said all along, never wanted to put him out there in a position where we felt like he couldn't function, at a high level. And that's just not how we feel right now. So.
When you said it didn't go well, can you describe a little more what you?
Yeah, just functionality. We felt like when they put the pain medication, without getting too specific, he doesn't really have full function yet at the level that we would want to have him, gripping the ball, things like that with the left hand.
I mean, to not have him for 7 games, how much of an impact do you think that had ultimately on the season?
Well, it's a huge impact. I think the obvious answer is we haven't won a game that he hasn't started. So, that's really the obvious answer. We were 5-5 with him as our starting quarterback, and we haven't won a game without him as a starting quarterback. So, the results there are pretty telling and they're tangible. And so, it's a huge impact. Now, it's another great opportunity for Spencer to go out, perform, and clean up some of the things that he's got to get better at. And so, hopefully he can seize the opportunity and get out and do that. But like I said, Derek's 5-5 as our starting quarterback, and 3 of those losses are by 3 points or less. So, it obviously gives us, right now, at this stage, he gives us the best chance. And that's why we kind of kept that door open for him for as long as we could. But that situation is what it is. I'm excited for Spencer. He's excited for the opportunity. And so hopefully, like I said, hopefully he seizes the day on Sunday.
Is Peyton Turner questionable? What's his status?
Yeah, he is. He got back out there. He looked a lot better today than I thought he would. I think I had a conversation with him towards the end of practice. I think he feels the same. We'll see how the ankle responds. Sometimes when you go through a practice like that, want to make sure we have no setbacks. But at least he was better today moving around. So we'll take him another day. It might even be a workout on game day. We'll kind of see how that one plays out.
Darren, what day did you test Derek?
I don't want to really give details on it, just in fairness to him and all that. I'd just rather leave it alone with the details and the when and the why and the how.
Riz, what kind of impression has Clyde made on you guys just since he's been here the last couple of weeks?
Really just really a pro. For him to learn the offense as quickly as he did, I think that was really impressive. He's obviously been in a different system. For him to come in and people may not think as running back, you're just handing the ball off. It's much more than that. The route tree, the pass protections are really maybe the hardest part of it. The run game may be the easiest part. And for him to pick up, just the route concepts, and for him to pick up all the pass protection stuff has been really impressive. I've seen a guy that's really focused, locked in. Again, another guy that's tried and sees the opportunity. Obviously, you saw some action out of him last week, and he'll be out there again on Sunday. And so hopefully he gets, another opportunity for him and he makes the most of it. But I've been really impressed with him. And really it's been more of the work ethic, determination, and just, his football IQ has been great. So,
Darren, it's been a little bit more than a year since Nephi's injury obviously happened on this field last year. Just from your perspective, having worked with him so closely over your time here, like what's it been like for you watching him?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was standing right there when that play happened with Nephi, and I don't know if I've ever felt worse during a game watching him go down. That was just certainly a sad moment for him, because I've watched Nephi progress through our organization, a guy that was undrafted, worked his butt off to make himself, a core special teams player, a productive one at that. And then he was having such a good season for us. To watch him go down, certainly disappointing. And he was really, that first week or two after that, he was really, really down. I remember having some conversations with him back then, and we talked about him, getting back, attacking the rehab. And like most guys who get injured, those first couple weeks are rough. And then I saw a guy come in with a great attitude every day, attack the rehab, get back. And so he's played some really good football for us. He was our special teams player of the week this past game. And he's really done a great job. We give out our special teams award, our special teams belt every week. He was one of the winners this week. And so I'm really so happy for him to watch him progress back, because I know the hard work and I know the dedication he put in and the effort he put in to get back. And so I'm really, really proud of him. And it's been great. And I'm like I said, it's sometimes when you come back off of those injuries, there's a little bit of there's like an orientation, if you will, for lack of a better word. I thought he was really impressive from the moment he came back and started practicing, kind of saw the old Nephi, and I think that's a credit to him and his rehab, and credit to the training staff.
For a guy like Isaiah Foskey, he's in year 2, hasn't really seen the field that much. Is this kind of game an opportunity to get him some run, to get a look at how you approach that situation?
Yeah, we've started to sprinkle him in a little bit more defensively here in the last 6 weeks or so. There was certainly a run of games there where he was just playing special teams. Listen, I think he's also at a position where we do have some depth. Obviously, we have Cam, we have Chase, we have Grando, and now Tano's back, and so Peyton, obviously. So it is a deep position from a depth chart standpoint. He's really done a nice job for us on special teams. I think he's 3rd or 4th on our team in special teams tackles. I think that probably goes under the radar. I think he's 2nd in reps behind JT on the season on special teams. So I do have a fondness for that and a respect for him from that. He's certainly probably not where he wants to be at this point, on defense. But, I think there'll be another opportunity for him to get out there and get a little bit more. We try to get him a little bit more every week here. And so he's had some good moments. He just, like I said, probably hadn't had as much as he wanted to. But I do see a guy that's out there, working hard and dedicated, and I respect his effort.
Is that something you address with the player? Because obviously that could probably lead to some frustration and feels doing the work.
Yeah, listen, I think our position coaches do a great job of communicating that with every player at every position. Not every guy's going to be, happy with their playing time. When you have 48 guys dressed for the game, there's going to be guys that certainly want to play more on side of the ball. I've always been one of those guys. I learned a long time ago, as a coach, a player may not completely agree with his role, but you certainly talk to them and you have them understand the role, learn the role, and then go out and obviously play the role. And so I think that's really important for any coach at any position to communicate that weekly with the player. And so, like I said, we've given him a role every week here, and he's done a good job of playing that role. And so, again, some of the times those core special teams guys fly under the radar, and they're kind of the guys that, if there's not any of these big plays, you're kind of the unseen players, and I would put him in that category.
I know we'll talk to you next week, but are you handling exit interviews with players? How have you guys kind of mapped that out?
Yeah, we'll have a team meeting here on Monday. Our post season meeting, and then our guys will meet with their coaches, meet with myself, and we'll do some post. A lot of guys, obviously that'll be a Monday thing. So,
What was the rest of the week like for you, just leading the team through, what happened on Wednesday?
yeah, listen, it's been a difficult week for everybody, right? It's been a difficult week for this whole community and our organization. I have I think our players and our staff and our organization has done a tremendous job handling this situation. I'm proud to work for an organization that represents this community so well and obviously supports this community so well. Led by Mrs. Benson, who's one of the most generous people I've ever been around. And so just her generosity and her support of the community is in my opinion unmatched. I've been to a lot of places, and I know a lot of organizations, and I know her dedication to this community is awesome. Our players have been phenomenal. Their support, either financial or just being there. I know a lot of guys have reached out to a lot of the community and tried to get involved. And so I've just really been proud of the way everyone's handled this situation, Nick. Really, you never know, how people are going to respond. And so it's been a difficult week, to say the least. And I think our guys have, every morning this week in our team meetings, we have a moment of reflection and prayer and moment of silence for everyone that's going through these things. But it's been business at hand as well. But there's definitely, I would say, a big awareness from this team, this organization on what's going on. So I've been really, really proud this week of how everyone's handled it. You guys good? I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.